Ah! Where's Mr. Oh my god, rank 50. He breaks the balance of the entire lobby. Alright, though. He's playing Cortex. Three mechs. Right there. Why not? Starts a wind turbine. Why do you start the mechs? And then make the wind turbine? What's the point of that? It seemed like it was quite intentional. Depends on wind speed. Fast to shift click all the same ones at once. The wind was low. Okay. Let's go around. We're just gonna assume, well, Kobold. Similar. He burned metal so he wouldn't overflow. But wouldn't he burn just as much metal in building the mechs, or? Yeah, far from overflowing. So we start with bots. He's got 2 Constructo bots and 100 grunts queued up. So it seems like I'm on point so far. That's my usual setup. If I didn't know better, I'd say he was setting camera locations on top of everything too. Oh, I mean, I don't know better. Maybe that's what he was doing too. Follows view. We're on player cam. It's enabled. You can see it over there. You think I'm doing it? Does look similar. Juices it a bit. So what I'm seeing so far is pretty much exactly what I like to do, but with a little bit less caring for where things go. Look here. He's like, why do you bother me? He's like, arguing about air. So I would like, if he's just sitting there for a patrol, essentially. So far, feeling, oh, it made the 3rd worker that quick. So far, feeling pretty vindicated. Because this is almost exactly my build. It's obviously a little more planned out, but essentially, get your basic energy, boost out a worker, use grunts to hold, and then sneak a 3rd worker when you feel safe. And then, of course, push out on the map. Which he's trying to do right now. You start pushing out right after that 1st worker, because then you can boost the factory. Nobody in this lobby's high TS. This doesn't seem greedy to me. At all. Like, this is not... I think greedy would be, like, 3 workers right off the bat. Like... This feels pretty middle of the road. He built a few grunts before the 3rd worker. Is he checking if that could actually... I think he was trying to make sure it worked. I don't... that angle. This feels like very middle of the road. In fact, I go... So, we're at 3:30. He's at... with decent wind is plus 17, plus 140. He's got the a few solars. We've got the wind turbine. He's boxing out with grunts. You can't see players' control groups from the replay, right? Because otherwise he's using no control groups, which I doubt. I'm sorry, who's building that? How is he? Will they... So, does the shift click? Okay. So, how did he do that? He shift clicked it while he was still boosting the thing. Does the shift click work after it finishes? So how did that happen? Because in my experience, when you shift click, it just stays locked onto the factory, right? After making the current unit, it switches. So he switched it from boosting to doing all this. It'll make that one unit. You have to click on the unit. Ah, so he clicked on the unit, and then when the unit finished, he had it shift click for this. Ah. It's hard to tell the difference if you're not looking for it. I've accidentally done that, but not as much intentionally. And then he's up here. He's on the front line by about 4:30. And then he's building the advanced solar after a little over 200 energy production. He only built one wind turbine. So he is just leaning on the solar. 6, 7, 8 solars. I think it was just to smooth it out to start. So the summary so far is... give or take, I think give a lot. This is pretty much exactly what I was doing. Like, not to be too self-congratulatory, but this is essentially exactly, like, there is no notes for me. Besides, you know, do the same thing better. But this is effectively what I was going for in almost every game on the front line. Like, what I'm trying to say is, why am I not 50? And of course, he didn't get overrun from the side. He's not getting 3v1. I don't understand. Doesn't he know that there should be 3? Maybe his mid-late game is different. Well, everything builds off this. So the summary for me is the same but better. I don't know what he would do if he had 2 people like running by and getting behind his lines. I mean, probably a little more focus on building grunts as opposed to all these res bots and all that, but he's been able to sneak by here, so. Sees the artillery. I mean, it's all map dependent. A lot of the details are map dependent, but the general idea isn't. Alright, vehicle production right at the front. Does he salvage his bot lab now, is the question. And yes, for high-level players, this is like the highest level team game player we found with regular games, or close to it. You are playing Icon Wars. I wonder if he has icon distance on or not. I imagine he's got the icons on, but yeah, he did have the medal. Just stole 2 of Pink's. If he's not up there by the time Teddy has secured the front line, he's pushed past it, and is now delaying multiple players and killing their mexes. Those are his mexes, okay? Like, if he's not up there to claim them, well then, they're in better hands. We're seeing green. No, we're seeing the chat of the other team right now. on the replay. I assume Teddy does not see this at the moment, though it is implied. Oh, fuck. Meanwhile, they lost a commander all the way to the south, but... He did salvage the bot lab. I can't go back, but it appears he was salvaging it recently. As he was putting everything together up there. So, I wanna... GG. Don't GG. Don't type G... Teddy, we need your superpower.
Oh, a follower.
Teddy!
Is that all?
Teddy's like...
Eliminator 30 is chilling for 11 months. I love me some mech on mech action. Just don't get the mechs near water. Sorry, Utrlove.
Is it tough being the least favorite child when you're the only one? Thank you, Brian. Trying to get skill lobbies? Well, part of this is me, in the last 2 games, having teammates to my side that clearly did not look at my build order guide, despite being the same rank as me. Though, obviously, ranks are not the most perfectest indicator. But I'm like 24 now, which I feel like I worked pretty hard to get there and eventually understood it. And also, we're facing some very specific opponents where the expectation of making a higher level lobby would be people don't sit in their base and immediately go aircraft and never push out. No, he was one of the highest. That's a specific example, but it led to this. Me seeing, like, am I doing it wrong? If I want to carry, do I need to change up my build or my style or whatever the fuck I'm doing? The answer is no. According to Teddy here, I'm doing it right. Not nearly as good, but, like, it's pretty much the exact same game plan here. Teddy is clearly much more accomplished at the actual micro, but the general game plan is almost identical. So the switch into vehicles at the front, once you see, he saw vehicles on the other side, the best counter is to, you know, get your own. So, here we are. Oh god. Alright, here we go. Alright, Teddy versus Yames and Emmer. If they trade 1 for him, that's probably worth it, right? Like... The classic. Ah, fuck, guys. You should attack. Who said that? Who's in green? Why is there a green ping? Oh, it's Emmer from the other team that we're seeing his pings because of replay. He's whining because Teddy is bearing down on him right now, and he's feeling the heat. All right. The furry fury that is Teddy. Down he goes. Wait, which green is this? Is this Taichu or Emmer? Or Swag Lord? No, this is Emmer. We just saw him explode. As soon as he exploded, he went out of my mind. I didn't remember who the hell it was. No idea. Commanders explodes, it's gone, alright? Look at this repair micro. Oh my god. Oh, here comes Yames. Yames wants to trade. I mean, that's about as clear of a 1v2 as you're ever gonna get. Like, he literally... I don't think it's 6K, right? Even Teddy in this intense fight. Look at that metal. Look at that energy. Look at that lack of energy storage. Shaw. good player. If I was in Twitch chat, I would have noticed that minutes ago. All right. But no. And as soon as his commander dies, Teddy's like, oh, fuck. Goes to macro. Only dropped because commander is the storage. Well, he dropped the commander. Should have seen that one coming. Skill issue. Well, meanwhile, we're battling over this. A third player comes in. Here comes the construction bot. It's pretty rough. He probably got enough metal to rebuild another construction bot, but he even got one of the pounder tanks in there. Look at this micro. I don't actually see Teddy's cursor. I see everyone else's, but I don't see Teddy's. Which is kind of odd. Is it like, but that's a weird quirk. Oh wait, it's working now. Nope, it's not moving. Is that a bug? It failed player view, but shouldn't you see your own? You don't see your own? I'm pretty sure you have like the little light on it. New bug report. I feel like you should in the replay or player view. You should see the cursor clearly. I don't know. It's definitely not on the screen. Maybe a widget? Yeah, I haven't touched the widgets yet, but I've seen a few, or I've seen people with a few videos that look like interesting things that I might want to add. Like increasing the size of the build bar is a pretty big one. From the tiny little sliver to like something you can actually see. So you can tell at a glance how built things are. He's still going. He's still going for it up here. Holding like 1.1 versus 2 to 3. I say 1.1 because it looks like Pink is coming in with a unit or 3. Let's take a look at the statistics. All right. Okay, so this is the most important thing in StarCraft. I think the best way to learn, once you kind of understand the very basics, the best way to learn is not try to emulate the best players, but at least understand why they're doing things so you can dumb it down for yourself. So, I'm Teddy. We're all Teddy on this blessed day, right? Okay, let's imagine we're Teddy. Crazy, isn't it? Actually good. Anyways, so, we're facing 1v2. Economy, 1,000 energy. But right now, really no hope of T2. Is there a teammate with T2 nearby? This guy has tier 2, so I think we can expect that teammate to give us tier 2 momentarily. And start working on that. While continuing to build vehicles at the front. The tier 2 is for metal. I don't see us... The big decisions are what? Do you tech switch? Do you tech up? Do you stop building, or do you stay the course? And I think it's a stay the course and hope the teammate wakes up and gives T2. So that way we can maintain the tank production for long enough to reclaim some of this. Or, right now, another key point. It looks, for the most part, especially like the center is breaking through. So there's no reason not to stay the course right now. Getting a little more economy and continuing to obviously heavily pressure. So my answer is stay the course and get that T2 constructor from Pink so he can earn his goddamn keep over here. Also, by the way, I didn't even fucking realize this. Teddy is over here. I didn't even notice him queuing this up. Teddy's just casually building another base on the southern side of the map. Oh my god, you got a good point. He queued it up, and then he just ignored it because he was already ready to go. Damn it. This kind of, that's the real pro gamer shit right there. How did he even get here? Where did he get the air constructor from? Did someone send him it? Did he build an aircraft plant at some point? What happened here? He took his teammate. Okay. All right, so Teddy is not as much of a god. A god, not a god, but a shepherd. Okay, all right. A shepherd who will aggressively herd his sheep in the right direction. That's more like it. That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so stay the course. Plus, try to make sure Orange doesn't die so we have a little more time. Anyways. So I'd be very surprised if he does like a big tech switch or goes immediately for tier 2. Like even now. Unless for some reason he's able to break through the center. Because there's what? 5,000 metal on the ground now? Some of the commander stuff? He even got some of the, he's sending shurikens from the dead. He is getting T2. He's expecting to break through right now. Ah, he's gonna use the shurikens to turn the tides. So this is a bit of a weird situation. That makes sense. He's using what he's got. Even a couple shurikens are enough. And he's funding this entirely off of this little push. This is a bit of an odd scenario because he's clearly using the other base, but he's using it so much better than that guy did. He's only got like 3 res bots. Yeah, the shurikens are stalling. Wow. So he really wanted T2 and was willing to rely pretty much entirely on this. He's now sending directly across because he has a straight path now. Yeah. You know, if I was a more spiteful man, which I am, so I will point it out. The fuck is Pink doing? Where's your construct? You're sitting there with your commander to construct. You can't help your team. You got 1,300. You got 1,300 in the bank. Wait, does he? No, this is not the Tendaran scale. Still though, bro, you've got look, it's his clan tag, the Teddy right there, and you're sitting there just circle jerking your constructor into T2, sir. I'm sure Teddy's used to it. It's probably a typical game. Like, that is a lot of... Are those bombers? Yes, but, like... It feels a bit like so many bombers that... Bomb enemy base, not army. I'm glad it's cool to have the back seating from the other team happening. Like, we can see the team chat while this is all happening. Okay, now that... Building a fusion reactor right there was quite a bold move. But also, where's T2 is, so... He's gonna get his shurikens bombed if he doesn't keep them. Okay, yeah, that was... I was wondering if that was a dumb idea. Like, building the fusion reactor. So it got bombed immediately. Of course, it doesn't explode unless it's finished. He's just gonna keep it. I can't tell if it's bait or not. Like... But, yeah, he's just building it now. Interesting, he just has these scattered. I think that's to prevent artillery. He's salvaging his bot lab and using the Twitchers as a stand-in because they can build fiends. Well, I'm not sure what they're waiting on. Teddy right now is really fighting the unit's tendency to be kind of stupid. A little. But yeah, it is getting really dicey down here. I don't know if he wins. I just picked a few games with him. So, very well this could be a loss. I don't know. What I've learned so far is I'm doing it right. Okay? In this one game, what I have found is the closest player to how I play is Teddy. Like a semi-haphazard, like, Not everything needs to be in a straight line because I ain't got fucking time for that shit. And just throwing things down and trying my best to hold on against multiple players. Now, obviously, a lot of the details are not there, but the general game plan and way he's trying to fight the game is, like, that's pretty much the same. Like, I've heard Gordon Ramsay makes a great steak. I also have cooked steak in my time. While he prefers ribeye, I prefer Miss Steak, which is slightly different. Oh, God. Well, I mean, part of the key, part of the genius here is there's nothing really meaningful to hit. Like, there's nothing that could really chain react. Even if he hits the fusion, it won't be too bad. Well, this is your typical air player. It's like Battlecruiser Micro in team games. It's almost exactly like that. I've helped exactly 0% of the time on the ground. Watch me micro, except Battlecruisers are way better because they can teleport out. And do not require any micro whatsoever. They are literally the anti-micro, whereas bombers do require something resembling micro. As I've learned. Whoa, whoa. What is this? Is he moving his tier 2 constructor around? Oh wait, is that a turret he's got jammed in there? Oh, that's cute. Okay, he built he's ferrying turrets to help build his tier 2 metal. These are things, I assume he would not have had access to air if that didn't happen. He wouldn't have been going. Well, now he's built a new air pad. But he's using those Twitchers to build a T2 bot army. So he's got his mobile factories here in the Twitchers. And then he has the actual factory in the air pad. So that, like, he's getting both techs while still getting the metal back from the tier 2 bot lab. Which is... I've never... Like, I've thought about that. I've done the building off the Twitcher strat, but I've never felt like I wanted to commit to reclaiming the factory. But he needed the metal. So when you need the metal, what you do, you pull your factories apart and hire the Twitchers to do the job. The factory is replaced by its own creation. Be careful. Another thing I'm noticing is he's not bothering slapping down the tier 1 mexes. Like, there has not been what I'll sometimes do is just drag the area stuff with like a Twitcher. He hasn't bothered to do that. He's actually gone out of his way to focus on those tier 2s, which I know are much better. And also, he's not trying to scale up his energy too much more. He's just got that fusion. That's been enough for now. Also, meanwhile, this is all happening. He's cleared out the entire north side. I believe he just sent the bombers out towards the opposite corner. Yeah. He's using a couple scouts. The fact the scouts haven't been shot down, you gotta go for that Geo, right? Actually, you wait for the scouts. Okay. He's looking for targets. Oh. Wait a fucking second, bro. Excuse me. The double take on that. Yes, that is a nuclear silo. Alright. How do you handle it? Is that enough for one pass? Not quite. He splits off a few. Coming back around. Wow, so clean. Oh, this is more like how you use bombers. The fiends are still going through the center line during all this. Oh, unfortunately, that fusion wasn't done. I wish I could actually see, like, what commands he's using. Because I can't really tell. I think it's an A drag. Like, he's just, like, with the scouts, he knew where it was. And then he just did the small A click. But it doesn't work right unless you actually have vision of what you want to target. He was making it look so easy. Remember, he was the highest ranked player in the game by almost double. So, no. It doesn't exactly work like that, but... Well, there's a right click, which is an attack ground. And then a left click drag will target things. But you do have to have vision of those things at some point. Well, looks like he's done it. It definitely got past where I usually get to. Once we got to more air involvement, clearly. Especially since he just stopped using... Like, he just got rid of the bot lab, yet his flamers, I mean his fiends, are still terrorizing the countryside because of the Twitchers. He's got a... It's good to see he doesn't... It is just as clunky for him to set up all these tier 2 extractors and all that. He's put a lot of effort, and not really APM, but attention into making sure it happened correctly, like in a timely manner. I was wondering if I was missing something. So far, it doesn't really seem like it. It seems like it's just something you get used to, but you do have to... It's a bit finicky. But we'll see. We'll see if we got at least one more replay. I'll see how justified I feel by then. He is building the air pad on the top of the middle thing. Why not? I think this is the do whatever you want phase. Not that that would necessarily be a bad spot, but... And there you go. Yeah, well... Let's see, 47. So, I average between around 40 to 50. Is what it... Wait, no. Why doesn't it combine them all? I don't understand how to read that. Just give me an APM counter. And there you go. Well, how about on here? We're not going to go to Ice Cream yet. We're going to go to Flats and Forests, which is not a hugely different... Alright, so we do have Grumpy on the other team, who's 38, but once again, Teddy coming in as the, by far, Cortex Commander. Not yet 50. Is 50 actually like a cap? All right, so this, he doesn't care about. He's just, oh, why are you guys drawing all over the damn map? You can see the cursor this time? Yeah, what's up with that? I'm not gonna touch anything. In case it has to do with, like, changing cameras. So, Reclaim. Okay, it's time. He hasn't yet chosen his queue. So, Reclaim, 2 Constructor, and then Grunts. I'd usually build a 3rd Constructor after like 3 or 4 Grunts, depending on if anything was immediately coming across, but we will see. 2 Reclaim, 1 Constructor. 3 Constructor. He's all over. He hasn't decided yet. But, so, I guess when you're filled, it's literally just forests. Makes sense to add more. Because you can just eat all the trees. So he's just jamming essentially his wind turbines, so his commander is always, like, he doesn't have to swing his big energy arm too far, it looks like. So even though he's frontline, this is very, very macro. He's really just trying to eat through the trees. Like, he's letting them come to him. Already queuing out. He traded out. Whoa, what the fuck? I think we're seeing the enemies. Okay, well, I doubt we're going to be actually building that, but that's just to have something to do. And he set that all up very impressively quick, even with all the commands. He's got the commander here in his command box, building everything. What do we have here? Patrolling with some... This is my swamp. Forest. It's a lot of constructors. Yeah, backline grunts. The vehicles, the little rascals there, are not great at dealing with this. Wait, they have to turn around, they have to fire from the front. Okay, so, very key. Don't really care too much about how it's laid out, as long as it's not all next to each other and you're not tripping over yourself. That is the continuing point I'm seeing. Just get all the right buildings. Don't have to be in the perfect spot. The other team put a ping on his base. Knowing, I mean... whenever Teddy's in the game, it's like, it's LeBron James and also the rest of the team. So... So we're at 430. So compared to, he's got 300. He never built any storage, by the way. I guess he's just overflowing to the team, which I'm sure the team is not complaining about. How many constructors here? We've got, he's only 3? He's managed them so that they're all over the place now. We got 2 resbots. Also, I may also be selecting. Well, at least we can look on the screen here. And then just grunts. 88 grunts. Storage is fine. I usually like to get 1 energy storage. I still think that's a pretty okay tip for lower level players who are struggling to remember what they're supposed to be building. But clearly here, Teddy's using that energy, so. There's some storage. Don't go air. There's your pro tip. That's the other team chat right now. How's he setting that up? He doesn't have repeat, he's just setting fight commands. I see, like, he's setting the right click, and then he's dragging out the fight command, which I don't think we can see all of that, we just see the end effect. He hasn't really made any effort until this point to get to the center line. But now, of course, he's kind of locked down that entire zone. It's impressively quick. He commands that area. He knows what he's about. And now he's moving on to the field. He's gotten all those mexes. He's got the back line covered. He's got all these little mini bases. Okay. If you compare Teddy, no, I'm mostly now is looking at the general game plan rather than, well, obviously the specifics matter, but still this is a much better version of what I've been doing. I'm mostly here to validate myself, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be validating myself, but so far, validated. When do we go T2 is the question. He has 37 metal before, with no reclaim, no nothing. So I think once he gets a scout completed here, but where do you build the T2? No, you build it. No, pretty quick. I think by 8 minutes he starts it. Yeah, he doesn't bother. Yeah, how many laser turrets? Just this one, protecting the side by the radar, and right up here. But essentially zoning lasers, which I mean, yeah. No, the thing is, look, he's building grunts, and even with grunts continually producing, he's not spending all his metal. He's only got like 2 construction turrets back at home. A lot of micro. We're sitting on 1200 metal now. He got all in mid, yeah, he's good to go. Setting up the huge reclaim. He's adding on more reclaim bots. Does that mean he's expecting a fight, or he just wants to cut down, or he just hates trees? Could be it. Interesting. He's going all the way up there? Is it time? Wait. Was that a vehicle pad? Oh, it's aircraft. Aircraft. This is a halfway. Yeah, Winter, you say don't go aircraft. Well, it's Teddy. And also, I believe this is going to be for shurikens as a means of pushing without... Like, air can always help as long as you have a ground presence. And he has quite a fucking ground presence right now. And if he's going to build tier 2 on the ground, it's going to be at the front. Okay, so 20 shurikens in production. Does he reclaim the botlet? No. This is something I haven't, like, theoretically it seemed good, but I haven't really added it in. The shurikens as an early game support. Because almost nobody has enough anti-air to really make a difference. Maybe enough to stop the bombers, but... And he's gonna have all 3 tags. The Destiny Cloud Fist build, if you would. What is that icon? Are those vehicles? The Armada vehicles? I have a lot of turrets up there. Alright, so let's see. Just a fuck ton of grunts, by the way. So you're gonna try to get... Oh yeah, I forgot that EMPs work against turrets as well. He's disabling the entire turret line, which is the anti-air, essentially. So how is he handling? He's just doing fight commands with the shurikens. And now, oh wait, is that a T2 bot lab up there? There you go. Did he salvage his? No, he's still producing up everything. He set himself up for this fight because either way there was going to be metal on the ground. But he had to fight a little bit too much, so he's not able to get all of it. So it's all wind. All throughout this. Oh, he's got a couple... So another side effect is the air transports, which he's been using intermittently, at least, to ferry things. Still seems a little clunky. He's really trying to... Like, he sees that top is not going... I mean, it's going fine. It's just... You don't want to give up any ground, because retaking it... Also, any ground you give up, they can start reclaiming. Like in this scenario. Like, you don't just back off, because then they get all of it. Which is already it looks pretty rough. You need to build that pop-up battery. Those things are quite nice. I always feel so expensive. Oh, yeah. He brought one of the T2 constructors back. I was wondering. Did he just individually shift click a few off and then he's like, ah, fuck it? Like, I think so. EMP max. Oh, he brought a construction turret over there. I'm like, what the fuck? No, he dropped, or he built it there, maybe. I don't know, actually. He's been over there a bit. Yeah, let's... Well... fucking... I'm just trying to get everything set. This is what I've been doing more of, which is just essentially setting the blueprint and then letting the constructors take it from there. I noticed Teddy has not chimed in much with the strategy discussions. He's got his own shit to worry about. Not too many Sheldons. He's adding more on now. His metal is stretched quite thin at the moment. Feels like, well, wind is at the most horrible. His entire economy is wind-based, so it's everybody's hurting. Feels like a well-placed bomber run could collapse his defenses. Well, that is essentially always true. But bombers are not free. And there's already some air. I don't think shurikens hit air, but pushing forward against them makes it more difficult. He's juggling a lot of the economy now. He's got like a fusion reactor, a couple metal extractors, and unit production. He's trying to make all happen at once, and it's happening. But it's a lot of juggling. Phone call, I have to AFK. Was Grumpy not the one who complained about the AFK earlier? I don't know, maybe they paused. I don't think it would show up in replay. Wait, did that? It does friendly EMP as well, I guess. Feels like that fight didn't go great. It went fine. EMP stuns units. It has like a build-up bar. There are some things that instantly fill the bar, but each unit takes a certain amount of EMP before it gets stunned. Which is a pretty cool mechanic. Feels pretty rough for Teddy here. He's really been trying, but he's put a ton of effort in, but the northern flank looks like it's collapsing a bit. Yeah, he's looking up there, he's like, ah. Yeah. He's got fusion. This is quite a game, even though they've just been fighting over the center line. Well, whoever's in the north up there, Future, does seem to be making a ton of progress. So, yeah, 6-game medal. What do you do with it? I mean, I guess you just keep up unit production. He's building sumos now, it looks like. Got these cloaked mexes, though. Wait, is that a mammoth? I believe that's a mammoth, actually. These things are 2,200 metal each. They are quite beefy. 15.6k HP compared to a Sheldon who has about 1,000. Or a Grunt at 300 or so. Do they have any other, like, resistances? Modifiers. Is that how much damage they take from certain things? I'm getting the Sheldon info, but... M2B1, need help. He's not. I mean, I guess Teal helped a bit. He has like a sniper up there. It's more like Teddy and then anything else. Unfortunately, now that he's lost some ground, he's adding more construction turrets to this sort of economy. He's just punching through. Has the interest in the grunt production will continue for Vision. I'm dead. He's punched through the line. We're in a pickle. Just slap it down. He has all this metal from Requiem. Advanced fusions take far too long. Also, got the Geo, throwing some more on. It does appear Sheldons are the choice, and then whatever he can put in front of him. GG, noobs. As they say. The Geo's a turn. Oh, is that a Cerberus? Anti-nuke. He's got just a couple anti-air on the background. Another key point is there is no base, there's just bases. Oh, he's salvaging for the gantry. This feels like a, oh yeah, I'm crushing it kind of situation. Yeah. He's confident that he'll push at least enough to justify this. How you noobs failed. Bad team. Good to see the camaraderie out there. As you can tell, everyone correctly pinpointing who's responsible for this situation, which is anyone but themselves. Grumpy hasn't chimed in lately, though. Maybe he's still on the phone. Getting rid of that silly wind power. There's some of the tier 3 units up there. There you go. Teddy, the inevitable. Actually, Future's been crushing up there, too. We'll even lose 1 unit to the comm exploder. So, the staggered base. So far, mostly, my feeling is validation. Alright. I had the right idea, the right direction, execution. Well, the additions. Maybe now watch a balanced high skill game? Yes, it wasn't a good game. There were too many noobs on one team, and Teddy on the other. Unlike the games I'll play in, which will not have any noobs in them. Wow, this is a, Oh, what is happening on the map up there? Oh. It was just, they look kind of crazy. Can I do anything else to help the FPS? Do the color filters matter? A lot of it is that I'm streaming. I don't have nearly as bad FPS in the later game when not streaming. It's actually a GPU limit. It's only using 10% of my CPU right now. But it's using 30% of my GPU, which doesn't sound like a lot. Streaming is using most of the other 70%. It usually hovers between 50 and 60. That is the struggle. JJ! Good game ever seen. I wonder... So Teddy wasn't even really the hero. He wasn't the villain. He was just there. Is this time to use CPU encoding? I haven't tried it lately, but honestly, maybe. I've had RTX 2080.